The next video we're watching is Never Retire in Your 20s. It will end like Amanda Bynes. Oh my gosh, you guys, I used to love Amanda Bynes. I thought she was so cool. As a kid, I used to watch her on her shows. Yeah, I really idolized her. And seeing her recently made me really sad. It just sucks. Sometimes these things happen, but yeah, it sucks.
When Amanda Bynes quit acting at the age of 24, her $6 million net worth implied that she'd have a low-stress, problem-free future. Instead, through addiction, mental hospitals, jail time, unfavorable articles, evictions, and the alienation of every...
I don't know everything that's happened to her.
The universal dream of early retirement is actually a living hell. The announcement first came on the 22nd
I don't know about
of
this.
2010, and just 6 months prior, Amanda was looking incredible. She was described as one of the funniest and most promising performers of her generation, often being cast as a kind, wholesome young adult, which seemed to reflect exactly who she was off camera. In a 2007
I thought she was super cool.
That she'd almost never been in trouble.
You haven't been to jail?
No.
No jail?
No, not yet.
Rehab?
No.
No rehab. Amanda Bynes, what kind of a starlet are you?
I know. What's wrong with me?
The reason for which being that she valued career longevity.
I just have my eye on the prize, which for me is a long career, and I don't want to blow what I've worked so hard to achieve.
Before the interview ended, she'd add that she wasn't attracted to any kind of partying.
I'm not interested in that. You know, the club scene and drinking doesn't appeal to me, so it's actually easier for me not to do it.
However, it seemed Amanda was telling a naughty little fib. Turns out she'd begun experimenting on the set of Hairspray 1 year prior, inspired by an article in a magazine that called Adderall the new skinny pill, and they were talking about how women were taking it to stay thin. I was like, well, I have to get my hands on that, before stating I started smoking marijuana when
I've even known a few people who use that just for weight loss. It's really bad.
I was 16, even though everyone thought I was a good girl. Her usage was then exacerbated by the failure of her side business in 2009, after which she was losing high-profile movie roles for getting too cooked whilst on set. When I was doing Hall Pass, I remember being in the trailer, and I used to chew the Adderall tablets because I thought they made me
oh no.
It was the mixture of
Red
being
flag.
so high that I couldn't remember my lines and not liking my appearance that prompted Bynes to pull out of the film. After removing herself from Hall Pass, Amanda starred in one final movie, Easy A, the premiere of which becoming the straw that
I haven't seen that.
back. Bynes recalls attending a screening of her last film, Easy A, and having a different reaction than everyone else to the movie. I literally couldn't stand my appearance in that movie, and I didn't like my performance. I was absolutely convinced I needed to stop acting after seeing it. In a foggy state of mind, Amanda announced her retirement in 4 spontaneous tweets reading, "Being an actress isn't as fun as it may seem. If I don't love something anymore, I stop doing it. I don't love acting anymore, so I've stopped doing it. I know 24 is a young age to retire, but you heard it here first. I've #retired.
They're within a few minutes.
Unresolved substance problem and nothing else to do. Amanda's usage continued to escalate. I just had no purpose in life. I'd been working my whole life and now I was doing nothing." She continues, "I had a lot of time on my hands and I would wake and bake and literally be stoned all day long." Around this time, Amanda said she started hanging out with a seedier crowd and I isolated a lot. I got really into my drug usage and it became a really dark, sad world for me. It was with this seedier crowd that Amanda began to frequent nightclubs, eventually leading to her first of many mugshots. She'd been arrested for sideswiping a police car, hit and run, and driving under the influence, which she'd attempt to solve not through the court system, but rather by tweeting at the president. "Hey Barack Obama, I don't drink. Please fire the cop who arrested me. I also don't hit and run at the end," although the post was met with silence. Despite the unfavorable press, Amanda continued to party in the public spotlight, even claiming in a People magazine interview that she was doing amazing while adding, "I'm not talking about being arrested for DUI because I don't drink, and I don't drink and drive. It is all false."
All right, so now we're in delusional land. That makes it so much harder.
Although according to others around her, Amanda was completely delusional. People around Amanda are really concerned about her, a source tells
just like I
people.
said.
She tells people she doesn't party or drink, she doesn't realize she has a problem, which is followed by some rock-solid evidence confirming this. Just 2 days after claiming that she was doing amazing, Amanda was dropped by her agent, publicist, and lawyer, with an article stating all 3 people are telling similar stories. Bynes was a dream client for years, but she became extremely difficult in the the past 12 months, some say uncontrollable. All three members of the team made multiple efforts to help Amanda before she went radio silent. Eventually, the team decided to cut bait, acknowledging they can't help someone that doesn't
It's
want
kind
to
of a
be helped.
liability, I
Clearly
guess.
Fed up by her portrayal in the tabloids, Amanda found herself in physical altercations with the paparazzi, as well as in verbal altercations with other high-profile celebrities. For example, she'd make a tweet reading, "At Rihanna, you look so ugly trying to be white," who'd then respond by stating,
"Oh my God.
"See what happens when they cancel intervention?" Amanda then responded to this by stating, "At Rihanna, unlike your fugly face self, I don't
my
do
God.
drugs. You need the intervention, dog. I met your ugly face in person. You aren't pretty, you know it." In a different tweet, Amanda simply wrote, "At Miley Cyrus, you're ugly," who take the more
What is
mature
wrong
approach
with-
by responding with, "I won't even entertain that thought. I was rooting for her comeback until she started attacking me," with Amanda's callouts being pretty clear projections, as she wasn't looking so great herself.
I was about to say that. I think she's probably just feeling bad about herself. My goodness.
Not even 3 years after retiring, she'd post this video to her Twitter with the caption, "I'm sucking on a Sour Patch Kid listening to music getting ready for tonight," prompting concern from her now declining fan base. She is seriously such a pretty girl. It's so sad seeing her like this. Something is definitely not right. She needs some help and someone or a few people to sit her down and get her back on straight. Although with no clear desire to pursue anything meaningful, Amanda's situation had no hope of improving. In that very same month, Amanda Bynes was allegedly kicked out of a New York gymnastics class for showing up in an outfit comprised of fishnets, a wig, and a lingerie leotard. Of course, she denies it, stating, "I'm suing every blog saying I was."
She denies everything.
What is wrong with you people? What would you do if you found fake
What do you mean you're suing? You don't have a lawyer anymore.
about you, making it difficult to ascertain what had actually happened? The article came alongside a different video of Amanda dancing uncontrollably on a treadmill and another video of her doing a similar dance while walking around New York City without any shoes on.
Oh my God. What do we think that is? Is that... I don't know. Does Adderall do that? I don't think you go out of your mind.
Touch magazine stating, "I have no clue why people say I'm insane. Every time I've heard it, it came from an ugly person's mouth, so I don't care." Before she'd add, "I don't drink, I'm allergic to alcohol." The star insists she doesn't smoke pot, which is followed by
allergic to
Amanda being
alcohol?
convicted only 1 month later for smoking pot in the lobby of her building. As a result,
Whoops.
she'd make her way over to the Ritz-Carlton Hotel, where she'd bring the receptionist to tears by telling the worker she was too ugly to check Bynes in. After a 9-day stay in the building,
It's a very common phrase for her.
Detectors, which accompanied other photos of the messy state the room had been left in. In the process, Amanda racked up a $9,000 hotel bill, which likely contributed to the $1.4 million she'd reportedly spent in only a couple of months. Amanda apparently withdrew $100,000 from her bank on June 4 and a further $100,000 on July 2nd, showing that she was spending about $100,000 every 30 days. Contributing to this was one single taxi ride from New York to Los Angeles, which she used as an alternative to flying, given airports didn't accept Google as a form of identification. Once back in Los Angeles, she'd pour petrol on a random
she just
person's
lost it.
driveway before setting it on fire. In the process, she'd accidentally spill some of the petrol on her dog, prompting her to take it to a nearby convenience store for a wash, where she'd be kicked out by the owner for walking into the back without permission. The bizarre evening led to her first stint in a mental hospital, after which she'd attempt to fix her life by going to rehab, reconciling with her family, and
it should have been done a long time before that. But I'm sure it's hard to find someone or control someone, you know, who's super wealthy and just running all over the place and can kind of do what they want.
enrolling in fashion school. To signify her fresh new start, Amanda had some of her tattoos lasered, which accompanied a series of tweets implying that things were back to normal. That would be until 5 months later, when she was once again arrested for driving under the influence. That very same month, Amanda was kicked out of fashion school for showing up high and causing, quote,
It's
horrendous
so sad.
arguments. 4 weeks later,
It's crazy how weed can affect people so differently. Like, well, obviously she could have taken anything else, but sometimes weed is like, just doesn't mesh with people.
Amanda made another absolutely insane tweet claiming that she'd been microchipped by her parents before stating that she was now engaged to a 19-year-old who she'd met in a fishing shop. It was then reported that Amanda was seen heading into a West Hollywood tattoo parlor to have her fiance's face inked on her neck.
No,
Apparently she was turned
that's the
away for not
rule.
having proper identification, and this might have been for the better given she was also recorded getting overly touchy with a random security guard at around the same time. However, it seemed this would also become a turning point as the negative press completely vanished overnight. There weren't any new Amanda updates for well over a year until this article was posted simply confirming that she was back in fashion school. With a new challenge towards, Amanda was able to stay sober for 3 whole years, returning to the public spotlight with a brand new interview. She'd state that things were going well.
I've been going to school lately, fashion school,
while expressing painful guilt over her choice to quit acting.
I do miss acting, and I actually have something surprising to tell you. I'm going to start acting again.
Yes!
This would come alongside a tell-all interview with...
I don't know, y'all. Is that a good idea or not? It almost seems like it could just get her back into the same life. She started drugs while she was acting, and it's like, she's going to be around all that so much then. Anyways.
Paper magazine, in which it confirmed that she was now 4 years sober, with the article stating that she had found a new pursuit to fill the hole that acting had left, fashion. So when she'd celebrate her fashion school graduation around 7 months later, it was also a point of concern. Amanda had overcome her challenge, achieved her goal, but was back to a state of idleness. Not even 6 months after graduating, Amanda had returned to rehab, where she'd post selfies of her new home job looking face tattoos, as well.
This is what I think of her as now, like with the tattoo on the face. She just looks so much less happy. You know,
new boyfriend who she'd get engaged to
doesn't look happy at all.
Later. Given the two met while in rehab, it seemed they helped each other stay sober, although after a rocky 3
I've actually heard that that's like, it can be good, but it could also be like the worst choice in the world because you two might enable each other to start using again. And it's like so easy to, go back into that life.
Relationship, it eventually came to an end. In the days that followed their breakup, Amanda was recorded by a fan in this video.
Amanda, say what's up. What's up? We just walking the streets of Hollywood. I saw my girl walking, so I said I had to say what's up.
Which was posted to TikTok where it received over 15 million views and comments such as, "Man, it breaks my heart to see how they destroyed Amanda Bynes, the sweetest girl ever. It took me so long to realize that this was Amanda Bynes. I'm so sad now. Girl, what?
Yeah, aw.
My heart goes out to her. Hope she's getting well. However, the worst was still yet to come." On the very same day,
I mean, she didn't look that bad.
Amanda was found roaming
she just
the streets of
normal.
Los Angeles naked, resulting in her return to a psychiatric facility. Just 2 months after this, a new article was published titled "Amanda Bynes."
What is she doing that is like meshing so bad with her mental health? I mean, she must have, maybe she just has like a disorder that's like completely enhanced by whatever she's doing, whatever drug she's doing.
Mental health facility, as she has lost interest in her passions while living alone, which is followed by another psychiatric hold just 3 months after her previous one.
Oh no!
However, it was shown in September 2023 that Amanda was making an effort to remove her face tattoos, which you could argue is at least a step in the right direction.
Who knows? She just is impulsive. She does whatever. So lasering that tattoo, it doesn't mean that anything's different. That's so sad. And her attacking anybody like in this, like attacking the celebrities or the person at the hotel, like it was clearly just like she was just having like a mental break or something, or the drug she was using. She didn't do that when she was sober, so gosh, it would be so hard to get sober and then realize that you called Rihanna ugly on Twitter or Miley Cyrus. Oh my gosh, that's so sad. I hope she does better. I mean, this is the latest news on her, really. But yeah, I'll link the video in the description. Make sure you go give it a view, give it a like, and I'll see y'all in the next one.